Before I decided to become a veterinarian, I worked in the corporate world for about a dozen years. Two things that made me decide to change. One was the loss of my sister, who I was pretty close with, and then the second part was when I was working, I was at that point consulting, I was in Amsterdam, I was on a big project. Here I am in Amsterdam, this is just what I wanted finally, and I'm not happy. My big pleasure then was just feeding the ducks on the way home from, walking home from work. And I was on the phone with my now wife, but then girlfriend. She said, well, you know, you love animals so much, why don't you become a veterinarian? And I thought, that's crazy. I could never get through vet school. I couldn't even get into vet school. But that's what started. It was the two things. When you're doing something every day that isn't meaningful, it made me feel like the death of my sister sort of became worse. If anything I could take out of it was that the life that you're living is short and finite. And if you're not enjoying it, you better enjoy it. When I decided I wanted to apply to veterinary school or become a veterinarian, the first thing was I had to take all my sciences. I had 0 classes. So it took a long, long time, but ultimately I wound up getting into Cornell, which was a shock. It was really, really great because this was like the ultimate vet school. After school, I think it took me, it's hard to put about time, but probably about 6 years, 5-6 years before I felt really confident. I knew I needed to instinctively work up a lot of experience quickly because of my age. So that was the shelter. But I felt like somewhere around 1,000 surgeries, around 6,000 appointments, I felt like just throw it at me, I can do it. And then after that, a business. So I named the hospital after my sister because it was a great way to keep her memory alive with me. I felt like her death sort of knocked me in a direction in my life. And it not only kind of made me realize what was important, but gave me a good engine inside of following my interest. When people come to the hospital and they really care and they really have a serious problem, I really don't care. Typically we figure it out. You know, it's not a place where we say, we're not going to help you, go to the emergency room. We never do that. But that's one of the best things about having this hospital is that we can help people who need to be helped. That's really where the juice comes from. For people who don't think they're good students, like I was not a good student, I'm a great veterinarian. And I don't say that, you know, with any extra hubris. I'm just saying it to the extent that you don't need to follow the natural path of finding a way to get somewhere. But you realize that at the end, what really is the most important thing is your interest, your desire, your passion, your commitment to your craft are your deficits. Other people have their own deficits, but don't let someone else tell you and dictate to you that because you have these specific deficits, you can't go through them. You can.